What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Man, I feel like I've been away for a while. We had Maloney in the mornings yesterday. I was off. Then we had Monday market close, Saturday, Sunday. It's been too long. It's been too long, but I appreciate you guys being here. We got Al Nows. Good morning to you. We got Albert, Bill, Sydney, Corey, David, D, George. We got Jay Nows. Good morning to Joe, Matthew, Miguel. Good morning. We got Ryan, Tim, Win, Wally, all my peeps out in YouTube land. Good morning to all you beautiful people as well. We got Daniel in YouTube land, Santilla. Good morning to Liza. All my lurkers in the background of YouTube. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. It's okay. And then if you want, just if you want, you can share with somebody. I think I see a little share button on YouTube. You could do that too if you'd like. But more importantly, you are here. Let us go. Matthew says, wait, who's on the mic? Who's on the mic? You already know. You already know. DJ Dan in the mornings. By the way, yeah, the we put out the options group the other day for the new mentor group. That thing sold out in like minutes. So we only take eight people in the groups. That thing is already filled. So I already got a couple messages for you guys. Well, from you guys. Some people were not quick enough to sign up. Just let me know if you are one of them. I don't know. I don't know what to do because we that starts next month. So I'm not going to add more seats to that one. But if I don't know, well, I'll have to try to figure out something because anybody who does want to take a group and then the later that the calendar goes, just a harder on my schedule. So, awesome, very awesome to be with all you guys who are in that next mentor group. Appreciate that. And for you guys that have been messaging me, just keep messaging me, and then as soon as we figure out a solution or a different time or something, I don't know, we'll figure it out. But we do have essentially the Super Bowl of stock market today. This is what we've been waiting for. We got through the playoffs. We are down to that final game. We got Nvidia with the earnings call that could either maybe keep us going and push us for the next quarter in the markets, or maybe we get a pullback. We've already seen a lot of chips start pulling back. SMCI already started pulling back. We got AMD pulled back a little bit. Last night we got PanW pulled back. Palo Alto pulled back a lot of bit. And not that that's more cybersecurity than AI directly, but tech is starting to get a little bit of fearfulness in it, and we will check out Nvidia, but that one's pulling back in the morning. Day trading morning notes in journal says very interesting new here. I appreciate you being here. Welcome. All right, so we got SPY again, gap down, still inside day where we bounced off of yesterday. Very, very interesting spot. So good location for bounce, great support. We managed to bring the bulls in. We did rally up. We closed above yesterday's VPOC. So all of this still could be, in a sense, a little bit of just a pullback, a retest, good bounce at support. Great. The problem is this is now our second time bouncing off that. And I'll put a little bit of weight to this one because it was the very next day. So great spot for a bounce. But now in a longer term sense, we've hit that spot again. This spot is now weaker. We do have the ability to break down here, and then the next little support comes down to 493 if the bearish selling continues. The fact that we're opening below a very, very strong, what should have been support, now resistance. I got resistance 495.90. Still inside day candle. Anything could happen from this point, but I do think we now are putting in a little bit of a stronger resistance, and I think that support got a little bit weaker. So I think we do have the ability to come down a little bit more. And again, regardless what happens today, and the SPY is going to work weird too. So even if you guys are looking for like sympathies and stuff in if you don't want to play Nvidia directly today, I get it. Does Nvidia have the ability to move the rest of the market? Yes. Is the SPY the best sympathy for it? Maybe not. So if Nvidia comes out and crushes, that's everything tech related. I think we'll get a pretty decent bounce on it. I don't know if the SPY is going to be that sympathy because you do have a lot of the kind of blue chip names in the SPY as well. You got a lot of companies not related to tech in the S&P as well. So this I think IWM actually could get a decent little pullback if Nvidia's earnings are good. So maybe probably if you're going to try to go sympathy and try to get something that's a little less pricey than maybe some of the Nvidia contracts, maybe the Qs, stick with something like that. I think that would be your best bet. Um, but if Nvidia misses, I think that's your opportunity where I don't know if the SPY is going to really rally on it. I think the SPY might be dipping either way, good or bad for Nvidia. So uh, we'll see. We'll see where that rotation wants to come in, but big day after earnings. The entire market's gonna be watching Nvidia's earnings. We got the Qs. Qs a little bit of a gap down as well. Also below yesterday's VPOC, I got that resistance at least for today. The immediate resistance is about 425.50, and then the next resistance up from that takes us to like 427.40. Otherwise, to the downside, again, my support is 423.85. We hit that once already yesterday, and I think that's doable to break down. Next immediate location will be 422.08 with probably a better target for 419.95. We got some room to the downside. Before we switch out over to another ticker, let's just look at this thing on the weekly just to really get a sense of where we're at. Not quite tweezers on the Qs there, but we are opening below it. Candle is still, we got a close yesterday inside of it. We have a little bear trap here. Again, whether that holds up again or not, I don't know. I don't know. But in the long sense of everything, we're still very high in this market. Very little pullback. I think we had one red candle over here. So on a weekly basis, we're still holding on. Where this candle closed on Friday is going to be very interesting. And let's flip back to the SPY weekly as well, just to really just bring everybody back from like this market is either just crashing or skyrocketing and just kind of really put it in the sense of where we're at. Even with yesterday's little bit of a pullback, we're still inside last week's candle. We're still inside the week before. And this does look like consolidation. So can't really get too concerned with the markets yet in terms of like here's our beginning of our big bear bounce. But I think Nvidia's at least two things. One, the report, and I think the report is going to be good on Nvidia. And let's pull up Nvidia since we are talking about it. But I do think the report's going to be good. And then it comes down to guidance. What is their guidance going forward? How much competition is really starting to worry Nvidia? Can they sustain the rate of growth that they've already been having? Those are all going to be questions that I think investors need some answers to. And if they put out good guidance and the good report, you might see that little bit of rally. I think there's been other companies reporting they're trying to buy Nvidia chips. This came out like 3 weeks ago. They're trying to buy Nvidia chips and they're on a waiting list. Like they can't get them. So I don't understand how Nvidia would come out with bad guidance if they can't even get the chips out that they have the orders in for now quick enough. But did it run too high too quick? I don't know. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. All right. Nvidia is gapping down from the close a little bit, still inside day. We're essentially at a good support spot. We have some moving averages coming in. I think this is gonna be a wild one to play today. But at least I can say we do have some good risk reward to the bullish side on Nvidia today. But I do want to see this little, I kind of want to see this little 684.35 break. Otherwise, I think we should hold essentially where we balanced yesterday. So just at open for a little inside day, lows of the day, looking for that little initial bounce. After that opening candle, I don't know what happens from that point because this is a retest into that VPOC. So that's already been hit. The next target down, 662.85. I could see something like this happening on Nvidia, where we kind of get that initial little bounce, maybe into this zone right up here, 695-ish. And then either we freeze out there and shop around in that range, or now we get any of those profitable bulls that are a little concerned heading into earnings starting to pull back, and then we get that kind of rollover. So and then if we do, I think we close into this zone. And if this happens, maybe there's your opportunity for the longs. My bull case, besides being Nvidia, besides all that stuff, in crazy amounts of profit every single quarter, probably expecting guys to be good. If the earnings came in and we were up here, that's a lot tougher. Like we have zero pullback. Those earnings have to be just absolutely clobbering it. Now we do have a little bit of a pullback. So the pullback is here. That gives us a case where, okay, well, we did pull back now. Now maybe we have enough room to make some runs. Not like everybody is profitable at this point. We did have a little pullback. And if we get down into like one of these zones to some extent, even after earnings, I think maybe 630, something like that. Would be your bounce spot after hours, but we'll see. We'll see. But we do have that little bit of a pullback. So for the bull case, I think it did get a little bit stronger over the last 2 days at least. All right, DJ Dan with some opium. Julie says, "Good morning. Good morning to you." Yeah, you guys want to look at Pan W? Okay. All right, we'll take a look at Pan W. Pan W only losing like $91, $90, 91, somewhere in that zone. That's not too much, is it? Yeah, pretty horrific on uh good earnings. So I think their earnings beat. Their earnings weren't bad. It was their forecasting guidance that was a little bit rougher. This is a tremendous gap down. If we're really looking at this thing and putting everything back into perspective, we're essentially sitting right now at the prices in November. So we've given back maybe what 3 months, 3 months of progression. So overall, I mean, again, this is a massive, massive move. Can this happen to Nvidia later today? I don't. I think Pan W actually gives a bearish case, like put more fear into traders on Nvidia today, because they're going, what if this happens to Nvidia? And then maybe I think maybe we see that sell off before the report comes out today. We'll see. But yeah, this is a pretty big gap in reality of things. I mean, we're just really giving 3 months back, all things considering. That's not horrible because of the run up. But yeah, this is a big move down. Really, support on this one is looking for like 262.66. So we still have a little bit more room to go. I got the 200 coming in at 268.46. So that's not bad. Again, the earnings weren't that bad. I wouldn't mind. What I would like to see is this come down a little bit further, maybe into that 267, 268 zone. Come down a little bit more. Just have some trapped bulls, and then I think actually playing this to the reverse side with a $91 drop. I think there's some room to make some money on the bullish side of things. But I do want this thing to drop a little bit further. We're kind of in no man's land. Do we have any volume? Anything like that? That's crazy. Let's see. No, I don't have. Honestly, that's a bad look. That's a bad look for Pan W. This would all be longer term. So initially, I'm talking day trade, but I'm in zero liquidity zone here. I have up to 285, so essentially 286 is going to be my resistance on this thing, and really the floor on this thing could be coming back to like 243.35. Maybe we start to stall a little bit at 264.39, but that volume zone is a little bit worrisome. I wouldn't be planning for the long term here. I would see if we could actually come back a little bit further into the 242 if you do like Palo Alto. 242, 243. Again, it's going to take us, I think, some time. I think we probably get some kind of initial dip and then pull back today. Probably a little over exaggerated, overextended, but I do want to come down a little bit, at least so I could get a good trade on it. But gotta go pretty high on the list for today. At open, I'll be patient on this one. Yeah, the PE on Pan W, the PE on everything tech related is still very high. Which usually we give tech companies a higher valuation. Then it comes down to what the growth is. I saw cases on this one too about again the guidance is kind of what crushed them. They were all-time highs heading into earnings, or at least massive move into earnings. But the case is AI, right? I've heard some people make the argument that with the increase of AI, if you're an AI believer, everything AI related is going to need cybersecurity. Okay, I got that. That makes sense. The other argument, which also kind of makes sense, is well, if AI is so great, why do we need humans behind the scenes controlling the AI and not just have AI control AI? Like, why don't we just have AI do cybersecurity? I feel like that would actually be more efficient. So more efficient, save money on that payroll, plus probably get the job done a little bit better. Could probably adapt itself to fight new security threats quicker than humans can. So I can see the case on both of them. So I don't know how it plays out, but in the long term, I think Pan W is fine. I think if kind of the marketplaces changes, I think they have enough money to make those necessary changes that they need to. But so for the long term basis, but yeah, I would want this thing to come down. Rock is in the house. What's up, Brock? Because that leads to yeah. Yeah, I mean, it could get well, that's essentially is where we're headed. AI just controls our lives. Let's see, we got AMD. I'm seeing AM. We're seeing Amazon come in too, so we'll take a look at that next. I'm just hitting random order of tickers. So if I already skipped you, just throw it back in the chat because I'm definitely missing some things today. Um, this one's gonna be a sympathy no matter what for AMD. I think, and this is very similar, I think, to NVIDIA, even on the chart basis. This one's been a little bit weaker lately. We were starting to break down. We still kind of came back and closed right at the last little support we needed. That being said, though, we have taken out not take yeah we dipped below this last VPOC 162.29 briefly. That was a good bounce spot yesterday. Um, I think this one plays a little bit like Nvidia, so still inside day. And again, maybe the gates open and everyone just sells immediately. That could happen. I think more than likely, at least you have good risk reward if you're throwing your stop somewhere around 160, 192 today. But the problem is your target's going to be into like 164, 64. So see if you have good reward potential on that one. Otherwise, AMD is going to be a strong sympathy today. It's going to be a high mover after hours, I think, as well. But I think we get bought up first, and then we kind of roll down. And I am looking for targets around like 158. So I think we have a little bit more room to go, just depending on how they want to give me that setup. But AMD, I'll throw up there. I almost rather play AMD today as opposed to Nvidia for like a day trade. I think Nvidia could get a little crazy. SMCI effect to Nvidia. Yeah, I agree to that. I think SMCI put a little bit of little extra nerve into this market, and it's up to, unfortunately, it's up to Nvidia to calm it all down. We'll see. Amazon looks decent. Good find. Uh, it's a gap and go. They have news leveraging AI. Good. We got another topic on AI. Perfect. Just when I thought I was getting out of that convo. Leveraging AI for retail business expected to drive market size to 38 billion. Eventually, they're just going to have AI buying those products for you. You don't even know what they are. You just AI needs products too. Yeah, so this is the biggest problem with this one is you are at a little bit of resistance. It is a gap and go. You're kind of close to the high of the day. So a little bit of inverse of in Nvidia and AMD, but I would see if this one wants to pull back first a little bit. I just don't know where this one wants to pull back. Do we kind of come into the open of yesterday? But we are opening at this little bit of resistance. We did hit it once. I think it's breakable, but this one would be fun if it does pull back, and then I think we get that balance. My target on this one, um, probably throws us to about 169.83 for the day. So somewhere up in that zone. So if we could get a pullback, better risk reward. Some people may be taking profits on this quick little gap and go. And then if we get that retrace, I think that would be decent to run it up. We'll see. Santilla says stocks are high, must come lower. That's famous last words, Santilla. Famous last words. WBA got the boot. Did they report today? I mean, eventually things pull back, but they had their dividend the other day. Yeah, this looks like a pretty good. What you do have some support below you, 21.67, but that is a gap and go to the bear side of things. Pretty decent gap down. Again, two levels of support, 21.56, and then we got 21.66. So a little bit support below us, but if we do start breaking, I would say under 21.58. Probably more continue to the short side of things. Otherwise, you are at a little bit of support. Amazon is getting added to the Dow effective next Monday. They got the Dow effect. They got that Dow effect. We got PayPal. As much as I want to be like, no, don't ever short this one. That kind of looks a little short to me. It's been if you're looking at those candles, I mean, these are all green, but they're still like this is a green candle that's technically closing lower than the high there. You've had some bullish sentiment in this thing. What troubles me on this one is where we're opening. So we're below that VPOC of 58.16. We also had a decent little zone at 58.22. We never really came back to retest this 56. I think we actually have some room to the short side on PayPal today. No, don't short PayPal. I like it. But I think I might have to try to make some money. So PayPal does look like a decent short. Again, the biggest concern is every time we did open lower, we've been bought up. I don't know if that continues or not. We are at a little bit of maybe some kind of support from here, but again, that we've been here before, so I don't know. But to me, I'd be probably leaning a little bit more to the short side on that one than not. Lucian says Shopify. Oh yeah, do we have the Fed today? Might even have the. I don't even care about the Fed anymore. It's just Nvidia, baby. That's it. Who cares about Jerome Powell and his stupid interest rates? I don't care no more. Tomorrow I'll care a little bit more. Tomorrow I'll be a little more worried. We got 77.18 on Shopify. So this is a retest gap. You do have a little bit of support below you. I think the most notable support is probably around 76.58. Potentially Amazon getting added to the Dow could be a little inverse news on Shop. Let's see if they have any other individual news. Nothing too crazy. That was even 2 days ago. Yeah, give me this some kind of a bounce. This is a retest gap, but maybe looking for a short around 78.21. So if this thing comes a little bit higher, it might be primed for a little bit of a pullback short. Throw that on the list. Let's see what else I'm missing. We got the FOMA meetings. The minutes, I mean, at 2. That could move the markets. I don't think that's gonna be a big impact on the markets. Garmin. Garmin Limited. So I saw this company somewhere. I saw them advertised somewhere. Weren't they making the GPSs at one point? Now it seems like they're more into like the wearables category. They kind of shifted the entire business. They might. I mean, I haven't bought a GPS because they come standard on every phone that I got. The entire company was replaced by an app. That's not good. But really good gap up there. But yeah, I think they're getting more to like the wearables, like functional wearables category of things, which I thought was interesting because I haven't kept up with them. Um, but yeah, so they came out with earnings. Looks like a strong beat. Not sure what the guidance was, but market still likes it. So nice little gap. You are into a little bit of previous resistance. So see if this thing either chops around. This would be a good. Actually, this one might be a good high wave candidate. Let's throw this on the list. If we could get some kind of initial sell out of the gate, we have that initial opening high wave candle, something that we could put some entries above in case we want to get a break. I think that would look decent because we would be moving. Is this all time highs? Not quite all-time highs on the monthly. We don't really have a lot to really stop us or bring us down. Do I have any volume areas on this or on the monthly? No, not on the monthly. What about the weekly? The weekly we do. Next little resistance on this thing is 131, so essentially 132. Gives us a little bit of room to the higher side. I'd probably only be going for like a 1.2, something like that. Otherwise, it looks decent. Besides that one little resistance on it. All right, we'll see what happens there. I like Amazon bullish today. I do like Amazon bullish today as well, but I want some kind of pullback at open. Santilla says ARM, ARM. Not bad. ARM will, I think, also highly be affected by what NVIDIA does today after the bell. Again, we came down to the zone, so watch this zone again. We've already retested into this 115.10. That's going to be a little bit weaker today of support. If we start to break down that. Otherwise, this open looks pretty atrocious. I don't really see too much more in terms of support on this thing. Maybe to the open of whatever day this is, February 9th. So maybe we come in, we got 105.86. That's, yeah, I got to put this thing high on my list too. Again, I would like to see it kind of move like NVIDIA and kind of like AMD. Get some kind of a bounce first. Give me the opportunity to short higher, 120.74. Get myself better risk reward. And I think that would look fantastic. Right now at open, just on this candle, I mean, if you're throwing your stop somewhere below the low of yesterday, 115.10, then I can actually make a good case, at least for bullishness in terms of risk to reward solely. Otherwise, I think we have a very, very strong resistance at 120.74. So the closer we get to that, I think the better shot we have for the short. That's already been retested once, and now we could get a really good trade if we get some kind of bounce. So that's what I'm hoping for on it. We'll see what actually happens. Let's see what else we got. MH says, is Matt still with the company? Technically speaking, he is still part owner of the company, but that would be that. CH says, I'm in AI. AI. I'm in AI SME, and it definitely needs some human intervention. I'm not sure if you're talking about AI the stock or something completely way over my head, but AI itself looks a lot like ARM. It looks a lot like NVIDIA. It looks a lot like AMD today. So very similar analysis. We do have a little bit of support here too. Again, that one's already been almost hit. Next target to the downside, 25.65. I would like to see a bounce first. I kind of want to see a bounce on most everything that we've covered. We have like 30 seconds left, less than. That's crazy. We got 27 seconds. That's nutty. Matthew wants to take a look at Google. Matthew is like the Google whisperer. He was rocking that trade yesterday. Beautifully done. That was yesterday, right? It looks good. You do have a good double bottom, higher low. This was a retest gap from yesterday. We kind of came in. I don't know where your target was yesterday, but we have a VPOC right there. So that was a good location somewhere in that zone to take profits. Also about a 50% retracement. Now you have a little bit of a retest to the bearish side. Let's see if we can get that. Might be enough. But 140, 105 is probably some kind of support on that thing if you do like it bullish. Otherwise, we'll see. We'll see how this one wants to play out. But be safe out there, YouTube. Unfortunately, that morning bell means I got to run. We got the Super Bowl of the stock market later today. That should be fun, exciting. I'll be back with you guys tomorrow, and we'll discuss all that, the results, and kind of how the market's handling it. Otherwise, you guys